welcome back to my channel. My name is Bailey. Thank you for joining me. So today I'll be doing a book haul. My dog is in here. I am not alone. If you hear her little click-clacks on the floor, that's her. I filmed this video right before this and forgot to press record on my phone. So now I'm doing it again. So excited. Just kidding. I'm pretty mad at myself. But leave comments down below as we go if you are interested in this book, if you've read it, what you thought, and anything else you want to say as we go along. I enjoy talking to you guys in the comments. So I recently did a book haul, as you all well know, but then Verity came out, the new hardback Verity with a bonus chapter. So I didn't even know about it until my friend sent me like this Instagram post about it and was like, look, because I've read it and I loved it. And she was like, look, and I looked it up and it was coming out that day. I had no idea. So I immediately got dressed, left my house, and went to Barnes & Noble and bought it. And then I reread it. It's amazing. I love this book. I gave it 5 stars both times. It is about this author who gets an offer to ghostwrite the remaining books in a series for the author Verity. So Verity was recently in a car wreck and she can't complete the series. So she is offered the job, lots and lots of money, which she is in desperate need for money. She's being like evicted from her apartment, so she needs the money bad. The husband of this author offers her a place to stay in his home while she like goes through Verity's office, goes through all of her outlines of the books, notes, and all that. So when she gets to the home, crazy spooky things start happening. It's a very thrilling book. I love it. You should read it. The bonus chapter, it's okay? It's average. It's mediocre. It's fine. But the rest of the book was fantastic and I love it. And I'm getting Joe to read it, and I'm so excited to see what he thinks. So when, one is in Barnes & Noble, even though their goal is to buy one book, one still peruses, okay? One still peruses the aisles and picks out more than one book usually, okay? Consumerism is real. Walking around, you just want to buy everything. So I picked up The Last Housewife by Ashley Winstead. So this book has a cult in it. I heard it's really dark. There's also a podcast element in it. I really like podcasts and books. This is about 2 friends who, when they're in college, they, there's a super charismatic, wonderful guy, and they get like sucked into this cult. And so this is in the future when she is out of the cult, lives in Texas, suburban housewife, but her friend who's in the cult with her young is dead. And so she thinks it has to do with the cult. And so it's like her trying to figure that out. Very, very excited to read this book. The next book I got while I was at Barnes & Noble is The Project by Courtney Summers. So this one also has a cult in it. It's about 2 sisters. Ow, I just hit myself in the face. It is about 2 sisters who were in this cult. One's out. I think they are both in it. But one sister is still in the cult. And so this is about the other sister trying to save her sister. I said sister 2 million times. Trying to save her from the cult. So this is a YA book. This is the book I am currently reading, and I just started it, so I don't know how I feel about it yet, but that is The Project by Courtney Summers. Then I got House of Hollow by Krystal. Yeah, Krystal Sutherland. So I've listened to this book already. I loved it, so when I just love the cover, and I wanted to own it, and I saw it, and I was just, in that book buying mood. So I bought it. I really want to reread this book. It is about these 3 sisters. Wow. A lot about sisters, I'm now realizing. This is about 3 sisters who go missing when they're young, and they're missing for a month. And so they're just like walking down the street one day and then poof, gone. They're just gone for a whole month. And then they just poof, reappear right there. No one knows what happened. The sisters don't remember anything while they were gone at all. They remember nothing. They come back super, like, they're different. Like, they've changed. That whole experience kind of changed them. And like I said, they don't know what happened. So this is them in the future. The youngest sister is like in high school, so they're a lot older. But the eldest sister goes missing again. So they think it has to do with whoever took them in the past. So it's the other two sisters who aren't missing, trying to find their sister, trying to find out what happened then, trying to figure out where their sister is now. It is very, very good. I loved this book. And I now love this author, and I need to read more by her, but she has one coming out next year that I'm very excited about. But that is House of Hollow. Love that book. And now that I own a copy, I can force it down my friends' throats that I want to read it. Then I picked up Cackle by Rachel Harrison. This, see, Barnes & Noble, that register girl, she deserves a raise because I was checking out with these books and Verity, and because I had this one, she was like, oh, well, you can get one of our monthly picks for 50% off. If you liked this book, you would like this book. And I was like, all right, convinced. You convinced me. I'd heard about it, and I heard good things. There's a new cover, and I like this cover way better. So this is about a girl who wants a fresh start. So she moves to a new town, gets a new, her new place is, I guess, infested with spiders, which is why there's spiders everywhere. And she meets this friend in this new town and becomes really good friends with her, but everyone else in the town, like, doesn't really like this girl. They avoid her. I guess she dresses, like, kind of weird. And so people just ignore her. But I'm pretty sure she ends up being a witch. But this is just kind of like, it seems really cute. I don't know. And very fall, you know? So I'm very excited for that book. And then that's all I got from Barnes & Noble. And then I bought a few things off of Amazon. So I got Foe by Iain Reid. Iain Reid wrote I'm Thinking of Ending Things, which is one of my favorite books ever. So he's coming out with a book, or he came out with a book in September that I really wanted to read, but I was like, I need to read his other book too. I think he only has those 3 books, so I don't know what this is about, and I don't really want to read it because I loved I'm Thinking of Ending Things. I went in blind, and it was like very unsettling. Like, I felt so uncomfortable the whole time I was reading it, but it was so good. I loved that book. So I'm hoping this one gives me like similar uncomfortable, like creepy vibes. I don't know, but I'm very excited to get to this one. I hate saying like I love Iain Reid. I've read 1 book by him, but I'm hoping I will love this and it will like solidify my love for him and he will just be one of my favorite authors ever. He already is, but like I said, I've only read 1 book, so I don't really know. So hopefully this will help me figure that out. And then I also bought The Butcher and the Wren from Amazon. So this was written by Alaina Urquart. I'm sure that is wrong. Okay, you can read it. All right. Alaina is a podcast host for Morbid, which is another true crime podcast that I've listened to. I guess a bunch of podcasters are coming out with their own book, and I'm very excited to read them. But this one is about the serial killer, I'm assuming the butcher, and he's just, going on a killing spree, and the Wren is a Dr. Wren. She's like a forensic pathologist examining the bodies, and she's trying to like solve the case of who this serial killer is, and that's what it's about. I'm assuming it's going to be dark. But Alaina is actually autopsy technician. So, she does this for a living, like autopsies and stuff. So I'm sure it's going to be really good. Very factually accurate about autopsies. Autopsies I found so interesting because they can tell you so much about a crime. Like, tell you how they died. They can tell you, like, when they died. It's so crazy to me. And they can have so much evidence on the bodies, and, like, the autopsy people are the ones who figure all that out, not the cops, I don't know. It's very interesting to me, the idea of, like, autopsies and how much they can tell you about a crime. So I'm very excited to get to this one. And then I went to Oklahoma City to meet up with Jordan from Bookish Gym here on YouTube, and she also has an Instagram. She travels a lot around the country, and so she just happens to be in Oklahoma at the moment, so we decided to get together and just meet up and go book shopping. It was a wonderful day. Jordan is super, super nice. If you do not follow her, you should. But we just hung out and went book shopping, and so of course I bought a bunch of books because that's who I am. So the first book I saw while we were there is We Spread by Iain Reid. This is his new book that just came out in September. I don't know what it's about. and I will continue to not know what it's about. When I saw it at the bookstore, I literally like squealed and ran over to it, and I was like, oh, I love this book. And Jordan was like, oh, what's it about? And I was like, I don't know. And she just like laughed at me. I was like, I don't know what it's about. I read another book. I love them. And so I bought this book. So very excited to read those, both from Iain Reid. Like I said, hopefully I love them, or I will probably cry a lot. Another book I got at the bookstore in Oklahoma City, Full Circle Books is what it's called. I don't remember if I said that, but I got Layla by Colleen Hoover. And this book I just finished today. I buddy read it with Jordan. So very excited to talk to her about it. But I loved Verity, obviously. And so I'd kind of heard this is Colleen Hoover's like closest to that one. It's not super similar in any way, but it's, I don't want to say thrilling, but like there's like breadcrumbs in it that you're like, what is going on? And so you just like consume the whole book in one sitting. Not one sitting, I did it in like 3, but it was so good. I don't think it's as good as Verity, but it was still really good. So it's about these 2 people who meet at a wedding. The guy is like the bass player of the band, and the girl is one of the bridesmaids. So they meet after the wedding, they fall in love, yada yada. And then something terrible happens, and then just like crazy stuff happens after that. You kind of have to suspend your disbelief with this book. I'm pretty sure it's called like a paranormal romance. So there's some paranormal aspects. But yeah, it was still really good. It gave me a lot of emotions. Like at first it was like cute because of the romance, and then it was like, oh my God, because of the thing that happened. And then I was just like getting super, super angry in the middle of it. But by the end, when it like explains everything, I was like, oh wow, that twist really got me. Like I actually really enjoyed it. So this book was just a roller coaster. I did really enjoy it. So I was like, I got another Colleen Hoover book at the bookstore. This one is just a full-fledged romance, I believe. There is some like domestic abuse in it, Jordan told me. So this book, Jordan was like, if you leave this bookstore with anything, like if I have to force you to get anything, it's this book. And she just like, she went and like reached for it and like knocked all these other books over because she was so excited. So I was like, okay, I'll get it. And they have a second one coming out this month, like in a few days, I think. I don't know what the date is, but on the 18th, I believe, the second one's coming out. And I think this has been out a long time. For her to just not be doing the second one is rude. Yeah, 2016. That is cruel. But I know a lot of people have read this. It's everywhere on the internet, so I'm excited to get to this one. And hopefully I like it, and then I won't have to wait freaking 8 years for the second one because it comes out in a few days. And then another book I got at Full Circle is The King of Battle and Blood. So Scarlett St. Clair is apparently from Oklahoma City. So I was so excited. The person at one of the workers at Full Circle was like telling us about them because they have this cute little end cap with a bunch of Scarlett St. Clair's books. And she was like, yeah, I used to work with her at like a library. Now she writes full time. She lives here in town. She comes in all the time. And she freaking signs all the books in that store. So I got this book because it has to do with vampires. It's like a vampire king. This girl marries a vampire king. She tries to kill him. So it's like an enemies and then to lovers. It's like a romance. But I'm very excited to get to this because my friend Caitlin loves the Touch of Darkness series by Scarlett St. Clair. So I've been meaning to read something by her. And this one just sounds so good. It's been a while since I've read some vampire stuff. I was a Twilight girl growing up, and I read a ton of vampire stuff in high school, and I just haven't read anything in a really long time, so I'm very excited to get to this one. And to support an Oklahoma author, so very excited. The last book I got was The Thursday Murder Club by Richard Osman. This is like a cute little cozy mystery about this like senior citizen village and this group who gets together on Thursdays and they look at these like unsolved murders, and I think they try to solve them. They discuss unsolved crimes. Okay. But then there's a murder on their in their town, and a mysterious photograph is left with the bodies, and so they decide that they're going to try to solve this murder. This group of senior citizens. I've heard like the characters are really cute, and it's just like a super fun, cute little read. It is a series. There's 3 of them, and the 3rd one just came out in September, so I'm very excited to get to this one. Hopefully I like it, and we'll read the other 2. But those are the books I bought. And I need to stop buying books, so I've told my best friend and I've told my boyfriend to not let me buy any more books this year. I need to stop because I have all these books that I need to read besides, you know, this one and this one because I've already read them. And then, you know, all these books on my shelf. There's a ton on here I haven't read, so I need to stop buying books. Hopefully me also putting this on the internet will help me not buy any more books. But yeah. Have you read any of these books? I would love, love, love to know. But those are all the books I bought recently. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.